So Psalm 76 is a good reminder for us of understanding how God helps us and blesses us in our everyday life, and he can work with us. Now it says here, this is a song of Asaph, by the way. In verse 1, in Judah is God known. His name is great in Israel. So Judah knows who the real God is, and they understand him, which is important. In verse 2, in Salem also is his tabernacle, and his dwelling place in Zion. So Salem, or Jerusalem, Jeru means the new Salem. So Salem is where his tabernacle is, and his dwelling place is in Zion. So that can kind of be taken two ways a little bit. One is looking at these. So Jerusalem is the physical location of where the temple of God is, and Zion is the people who dwell in that city. We could look at this as almost an idea of Jerusalem, Old Jerusalem, New Jerusalem, kind of a thing for the last days. You could interpret it that way. I don't think it was really meant that way, but it kind of works out. Now, verse 3, there brake he the arrows of the bow, the shield and the sword and the battle, Selah. So talking about how God will preserve Israel. He's going to destroy the weapons of war against Israel. Verse 4, thou art more glorious and excellent than the mountains of prey. Thou stout-hearted are the stout-hearted, are spoiled. They have slept their sleep, and none of the men of might have found their hands. At thy rebuke, O God of Jacob, both the chariot and the horse are cast into a deep sleep. Thou, even thou, art to be feared, and who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry? Thou didst cause judgment to be heard from heavens, the earth feared and was still. When God arose to judgment to save all the meek of the earth, Selah. So meek is important. That's another good one with the Sermon on the Mount, the Sermon at the Temple that Jesus gave. Is blessed are the meek and the lowly of heart, for they shall inherit the kingdom. So very important to think about, to be humble. Okay, not boastful, but to be meek, to be humble, to be willing to help other people out, not seeking praise of yourself, those kinds of things. Verse 10, surely the wrath of man shall praise thee, the remainder of wrath shalt thou restrain. Vow and pay unto the Lord your God, let all that be round about him bring presents unto him that ought to be feared. He shall cut off the spirit of princes, he is terrible to the kings of the earth. So you could look at this as kind of an idea of the second coming a little bit. You know, God is going to be feared by those who don't like him. Those who do like him are going to be really happy he's there. But he helps the meek, not the people. It's not like they can't take care of themselves, but they choose to err on the side of keeping the commandments rather than worrying about dealing with some of the things of this world, basically, and let God help them through those challenges. Which is more of a reliance on God than a reliance on ourselves as well, which is good. So some fun things we get to look at through this, almost a glimpse or glimmer of the second coming in here, the millennium, basically, but some really good things for us to learn. Now let's jump over to the next psalm as we continue forward.